Hello everyone, my name is Runescape. A lot of people are confused on how the weapons will work with the evolution of combat, or think that the old same thing will work just as fine as it did before the update, which is basically why I'm going to go through how the weapons work. The weapons have been balanced a lot better with the EoC. Obviously, bronze won't hit that much, and dragon will most likely hit more. This is also depending on your levels, but the best weapon charm you can use will always have the advantage for your own good. How much you hit will also depend on the speed of the weapon you are wearing. A scimitar and a warhammer, for example, will in theory take just as much time to kill the target, but a heavy or slow weapon will hit more than a fast weapon. To check the weapon's information, simply hold over it to check the damage, style, class, speed, and required level to use. The colors depend on what you're already wearing. Green means that the weapon, or the part of the weapon, is better than your current wielded weapon. Blue means it's just as good, while red means it's worse. The damage information on the weapon is a nice way to see if the weapon hits a lot or not. You will most likely notice that if the weapon damage is high, the speed will not be that fast, but most likely average. The offhand weapons is worse than the main hand weapons, but they will make you hit more and faster based on weapon speed, but that will also make your defense drop. With a shield you will still hit more like you would with one weapon, but with more defense, and in that way lose less life points. The combat styles work with the combat triangle in order to give you an advantage in combat. Melee is weak against magic, and that means a melee NPC could have weaknesses such as air spells or earth spells, while rangers will have disadvantages against melee. A ranger will have more disadvantage if you use the right weapon. You can check the weaknesses by choosing them as a target and head over to the combat tab. I'll be going through all three kinds of weapons: melee, range, and magic. You can click your way through when the buttons pop up on the screen. If you're interested in watching the full tutorial, feel free to do so instead. So, starting off with melee. A lot of the weapons have different advantages and disadvantages in combat. Halberds have the advantage of space. You can have one square between you and the opponent and still hit the target. They are two-handed weapons and very powerful. The disadvantage with these is that you have less defense bonus using this weapon, and that you can't have anything in the shield slot. Battle axes and warhammers is just the same kind of weapon, except the styles, where warhammer is a crushing and battle axe is a slashing. Swords and longswords is also the same weapon, but the speed is fast and the stealth is different. This won't hit particularly high, but neither any low. Maces, scimitars and daggers are the fastest weapons. They don't hit that high at all, but they can do some damage quite fast. Range have quite some weapons as well. The first thing I want to mention is the shield bow, previously known as a longbow. It's a two-handed weapon with average speed, meaning it could take some cool hits. What's even better is that it gives some life point boost and a defensive bonus. The two-handed crossbow is also average and can indeed give some impressive hits. The disadvantage here is that it doesn't give any bonuses like the shield bow does. Normal crossbows doesn't show damage when you hold over them, and they act quite fast. They can still hit pretty decent and can do a good job. Short bows are decent weapons. They shoot fast and hit decent, but they don't have any bonuses to help you in battle. Knives and darts are pretty much the same thing. I haven't noticed any difference with these. Due to low hits, they can still do some damage quite fast. The offense weapons is also slower here, but you could have a go and mix things up, for example a crossbow and darts, whatever you might find fun. There are three ways to do your magic. Obviously, you need runes. The first way is with either a wand or a staff. In order to attack with magic, you have to keep using a spell on the target. If you stop, you'll go over to melee or range, depending on what you're wearing. The second way is with wands. This is quite a fast weapon for magic. They are fast but don't hit that high. If you're wearing a magic book on your offhand slot, you'll attack even faster, making it quite powerful, even though the hits might not be the greatest. The third way is to use staffs. They're heavy, two-handed, and attack quite slowly, but they hit a lot. Obviously, hits depends on spells, magic level, and the weapon you use. So, I think that's it for this time. I hope you learned something good about how the weapons work. My name is Runescape, and goodbye.